Shitballs. Hi, everybody. This is Joe from PrepAgent. Hope you're having a good day. And we'll be ready to begin. We're going to look at practice and disclosures this morning. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Good morning, Lawanda. Okay, and I apologize for any confusion if you guys are here last night. We're going to do that section again. With that being said, let's get going. When a real estate agent acts exclusively as a buyer's agent, he can A, present offers to the seller, B, present offers based upon what the buyers have offered, C, present offers to the seller and the seller's agent, D, present offers to a family member of the seller. What do you guys think? C, good. What year did federal fair housing get enacted? What year did federal fair housing become law? Good job, Melissa. Who here could name some violations that you learn about as you study for your real estate exam that violate federal fair housing? Who could name some of those? Redlining's one. Excellent. Okay. Blockbusting, steering, panic selling. Good. Who here could tell me what is redlining? What is redlining? Anybody? Who knows what is redlining? Okay, redline is discriminating when you make a loan. Good job, guys. What is steering? Who knows what is steering? What is steering? Good. Anybody know what steering is? Yeah, steering people in certain areas. Okay, so think of steering a car. So you're working with buyers. Okay, so that's steering. And blockbusting. What is blockbusting? Who knows what blockbusting? Yeah, it's creating fear in the neighborhood to induce people to sell their home. Okay, that's blockbusting. also as panic selling or panic peddling. Good job, everybody. Panic selling and panic peddling is the same as blockbusting. Okay, when dealing with the public, a broker may not A, remain silent about material facts if you think it is the best interest of the seller to keep it unknown. B, reject a listing on real property in an area which is active. C, remain silent concerning material facts about property known only to himself. D, delegate any of his duties to other people. So blockbusting's when you go to people's houses and you say you better sell because those people are moving to town. You don't want to live by those people, do you? Okay, that's a violation of fair housing. Okay, C. Good. You're welcome. The buyer's earnest money deposit may be A, anything of value, B, a post-dated check, C, a promissory note, or D, anything the buyer considers to be valuable. If your screen is blurry, please change it to 720 HD. You could do that by clicking on the gearbox on the bottom of the screen and change it to 720. Okay, so it is anything of value. The buyer's earnest deposit may be anything of value. Okay? Anything of value. Definitely not anything the buyer considers to be of value. If anything, it would be like anything the seller considers to be of value. But that's not one of the options. Two brokers decide to list a property together 50. The buyer and then refuses to share the commission. In the event of an occurrence of this nature, an action should be filed A, with civil and criminal court, B, with the Department of Real Estate in a civil court, C, with the Department of Real Estate, or D, in a civil court. And the answer is D, in a civil court. Good. Which of the following is not required to create a lease for more than 1 year? A, lessor and lessee must both sign it always. B, it must be in writing. C, the amount of rent and the method of payment. Or D, a termination date. Okay, careful this word not, guys. Everybody say this word not. All right. Okay, a neighborhood is predominantly white, while an adjoining neighborhood has recently experienced an influx of homeowners from another ethnic group. A real estate salesperson begins canvassing the white neighborhood, telling people they should sell now because the minorities will soon be moving in and property values could drop. Which of the following violation is this person guilty of? A, blockbusting. B, panic peddling. C, steering. D, panic peddling and or blockbusting. Oh, we went over this morning. And the answer is D. Remember I told you guys blockbusting and panic peddling are the same thing? Okay, the answer is D. Okay, remember steering's with buyers. Don't forget when you guys do the questions, when you see these highlighted words, you click on it and you can get the definition of the word. We're always trying to work on new features to make this as quality of a product as possible. One thing we're working on, I want to get your guys' opinion. What would you guys think if you searched a word and then all the questions we had in our bank then incorporates that word came up? So for example, if you guys searched like exclusive listings, then every question we had that had exclusive listings in them would come up. I don't know if you guys like that idea. Or maybe we're getting too fancy. It's something we're working on. Okay. We're trying to make our website a little more advanced. It looks like a little more care than the other ones out there. Because I just found the other ones out there, they just throw some questions at you and then say, give me money. And it's not really more than that. We're really trying to make this like a really high-end quality study tool for you guys where you could kind of, you know, modify it and do what works for you. All right. In one of her weekly sales meetings, broker Elizabeth Johnson made the following two statements to her staff. We're going to solicit listings in the Rancho Los Cabos neighborhood because a large number of Black and Asian buyers are moving in. 2, only speak to the white homeowners because the others have only recently moved and won't be interested in selling. Which, if either of these statements, is legal? A, both 1 and 2 are illegal. B, both 1 and 2 are legal, but the conversation kept within the firm and not discussed publicly. C, number 1 is illegal, but 2 is legal. Or D, number 1 is legal, but 2 is illegal. All right. Everything about that is illegal. It's bad from like every angle. In order to be a valid all-exclusive listing, must include A, a dragnet clause, B, a definite date of expiration, C, a permission for the listing broker to appoint subagents, or D, an automatic renewal clause. And the answer is B. Salesperson Andrew receives an offer to purchase, which is accompanied by a $2,000 earnest money deposit in the form of a personal note. Which is true in this case? Andrew should return the note and ask for the purchaser to give him a check for the same amount. Andrew has breached his agent duty to the seller. The resulting contract will be voided at the seller's option. The offer should indicate that the deposit is in the form of a note. Good job, everybody. The Civil Rights Act of 1866, rediscovered by the Supreme Court in 1968, permits discrimination in housing based on race. A, when the broker does not use a broker, when the person does not use a broker. B, when the person does not own more than 3 houses. C, never. Or D, when the person refrains from discriminatory advertising. Okay, and the answer is C, never. Some of these, if you get wrong, it's a little scary. So I'm glad everybody got that one right. Blockbusting is best described as an attempt A, by banks to refuse loans to homeowners in certain segments of the city. B, to form guerrilla bands to use violent action to integrate neighborhoods. C, to panic a neighborhood into thinking property values will decline due to unwanted persons moving in. D, by insurance companies to refuse to issue homeowners policies to certain residents of the city. Okay, C, good. If a real estate licensee were trying to persuade people to list or to sell their property by telling them that members of another ethnic group were moving into the neighborhood and it would be to their advantage to list or to sell, it would be an example of all the following except A, blockbusting, B, illegal conduct, C, panic selling, or D, duress. And the answer would be D, duress. If you were put under duress, would that make a contract void or voidable? If you were put under duress, would that make a guys? And of course, what are the 4 essentials of a valid contract? Which I know we all know the answer to that. What are the 4 essentials to a valid contract? If I'm breaking up, just ask me to repeat what I say and I'll repeat it. So, what are the 4 essentials of a valid contract? Okay, you got mutual consent, lawful object, consideration, and capable parties. Good. If a licensed real estate salesperson placed a blind ad in a local newspaper, a blind ad does not properly A, identify the broker, B, give the selling price, C, identify the seller, or D, give the address of the property. The answer is A, identify the broker. All right. There you go. A real estate broker advertises that she will give a microwave oven valued at $500 to anyone who purchased a property listed with her office. This type of advertising is A, illegal regardless of all disclosures are made, B, legal only if the gift is valued at $100 or less, C, legal if the seller is sent a copy of the advertisement, D, legal if the proper disclosures are made to all parties of interest. Good. D. Who here knows what ad valorem is Latin for? What does ad valorem mean? Anybody? What is ad valorem? According to value. Good. The effort that brings about the desired result in a real estate sale is known as A, principal, or D, procuring cause. Oop, I think I said procuring cause twice by accident. Okay, the answer is D, procuring cause. What actions are required for agents regarding material facts? A, should be disclosed to serious buyers. B, must always be disclosed. C, they are deemed confidential between the agent and the client and should be protected. D, they should generally be disclosed to the public, although in some instances they may be considered minor or confidential and not need to be disclosed. What do you guys think? B, must always be disclosed. Good. Carolyn Martin assures real estate salesperson Abby Benton that the home she's selling has hardwood floors throughout. This appears to be true, since it is exposed in all rooms, but two of the bedrooms, which of the wall carpeting. Abby passes these assurances on to the buyers, who later discover that neither of the bedrooms has hardwood. What, if anything, is Abby guilty of? A, she's guilty of commission. B, she's guilty of misrepresentation. C, she's guilty of fraud. D, she's not guilty of anything since she relied on the owner's insurance. She's guilty of misrepresentation. Da-da-da-da. Who here knows what is negative fraud? Anybody know what negative fraud is? What's negative fraud? Who knows the answer to that? So negative fraud would be suppression of the truth, not disclosing things. Nice job, Dora. Okay, as long as it is specified as part of his or her duties, it is legal for an unlicensed salary assistant to solicit listings for the broker. A, no, active participation in real estate transactions requires a license. B, no, soliciting listings is the exclusive responsibility of the broker. C, yes, because she is being paid a salary, not a commission. Or D, yes, it is part of the written job description. Good job, everybody. The listing broker had a signed sales contract on a house. The broker then noticed a crumbling wall in a basement. Which of the following should the broker inform about the wall? A, the buyer only. B, the seller only. C, buyer and seller. Or D, both seller, buyer, and mortgage company. Good. Stupid mortgage company. Okay, what is RESPA? A low-income housing program? B, a standard for closing procedures? C, a federal anti-discrimination statute? D, a standard for access and accommodations for persons with disabilities? RESPA. Standard for closing procedures. RESPA has nothing to do with discrimination. It has to do with honest disclosure of fees. All right. Who here knows what the Sherman Antitrust Act is all about? Anybody? Who here knows what the Sherman Antitrust Act is all about? Sherman Antitrust Act. What's that all about? Free market competition. Good. Can you guys give me a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act? Could you give me examples of violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act? It's not kickback. Kickbacks has to do with RESPA. Price fixing. Good. All right. Group boycotting. I think Melissa said it before. All right. Good job. Which act requires that reasonable accommodation be made in public? A, Fair Housing Act. B, Civil Rights Act. C, Equal Opportunity Act. Or D, America with Disabilities Act. What do you guys think? D, America with Disabilities Act. Okay, that is amendment to fair housing. It's the reason you have like ramps and handrails and things of that nature. A real estate broker presented an offer to his seller which met the terms of the listing. The offer was from a financially qualified Black person. Later, his salesperson presented the seller an offer at a lower price from a white prospect. The seller did not accept either offer, but instead sold the property to a neighbor through the same salesperson. The neighbor wanted to buy the property so as to prevent the minority person from moving into the neighborhood. Which of the following parties has not violated the Civil Rights Act of 1968? A, white prospect, B, neighbor, C, seller, or D, salesperson? Good job, Lisa. Yeah, they just presented their offer. They had no idea of why things were being accepted, why I was going to deny. So you got to think from that perspective, they're just presenting an offer. It's one of those long questions you actually got to read carefully. Reading, yuck, I know. Ugh. How many guys see a long question, you're automatically like, ugh, reading, gross. I feel like they should make the long reading questions count for like double if you get it right. Of the following, which is considered a violation of fair housing laws in regards to periodic tenancy? A, the requirement of a landlord that all tenants furnish references from their previous landlord. B, tenants pay first, second advance. C, a landlord requiring that each and every tenant have a good credit and the insurance of a steady source of income. Or D, the requirement of a landlord of a cosigner exclusively for tenants who are single. And the answer is D. So just so you guys know, we will not be doing this tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday. Okay. We're going to come back on Tuesday. So we'll not be doing this Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, just so everybody knows. Listing a home at an inflated price requires minority prospects to pay that price, but accepting a lower price from other prospects. A is illegal only and FHA or VA loan is being used to purchase the property. B is not a violation of the fair housing law because the property is still available to minority prospects. C could cause a listing salesperson and broker to be liable for the money damages in a fair housing suit. Or D is a violation of the fair housing laws by the seller only. C. Yes, Monday I have my 80-year-old father flying in to see me, which is exciting but yet infuriating at the same time. You guys have the relationship with your parents. You love them more than anything in the world, but at the same time when they're with you, they could drive you crazy. My dad's a very strong, opinionated guy. You might call high maintenance. Yes, and we could look at going back to afternoons. I always try and change schedules to make it work for as many people as possible. Okay. My dad still doesn't understand this whole internet thing, so he's waiting for me to get a job. It's like, why are you always playing on the computer? And who are you talking to? Okay, here we go. A developer, to avoid discrimination, instructed his sales staff, one, give special preferences to women who want to purchase, and two, set aside the same number of homes for ethnic groups, which answers best describes these policies. A, the second policy is illegal. B, the first policy is illegal. C, both policies are discriminatory and therefore illegal. Or D, both policies are non-discriminatory. My brother coaches a high school team, and my dad always says, you should do like your brother and get a job. And I try and tell him, you do realize that my brother does not make any money, right? And for him, if you can't see it and understand it, it's not a job. I don't know if you guys have like senior citizen friends who are like that. I will try and put him on, Melissa. I will definitely try and do that. You guys would think he's very funny. Everybody does. He looks like Sean Connery. Like the modern Sean Connery, not the ones where he was like super cool 007. Like the old Sean Connery. Okay, here we go. Alicia, who worked for 4 real estate incs, placed the following ad in a newspaper. Big bedroom, sun deck, and fireplace, $500,000, 273-1321. Which of the following would describe this ad? A, this is misleading advertising. B, this violates RESPA. C, this is false advertising. Or D, this is blind advertising. Okay, the answer is D. This is blind advertising. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Make sure you go to open houses as much as you can. All right. And Lisa, it still needs to have the broker's name there. Okay, so make sure you go to as many open houses as you can, and I will see you guys next week. All right? And make sure you join the groups that we're doing, and I will enjoy my visit with my dad. Thank goodness I don't have any hair to lose, though. All right, have a great day, guys.